Welcome to Disability Empowerment Now, Season 4, bonus episode number What Are Numbers? Uh, I'm your host, Keith Maffei-DiCincini. I'm back with my co-host, Alaina Mallard, as we make our way through the wonderful and chaotic music of Depeche Mode through a love and devotion lens. Alaina, welcome back. I hope you are well rested.
Yes, thank you. Finally got some sleep and ready to charge ahead. This is always fun.
Sleep is so important. Uh,
Yeah.
that should be more commonly known. I mean,
Yeah, it is, but yeah, when you got somebody in pain and stitches, I'm relieved he's getting through the night now.
yeah, yeah. So we left off with songs of faith and devotion, and it was followed by a very chaotic tour, probably the most chaotic tour they've ever done.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant tour, aptly known as the devotional tour. It nearly not only almost broke up the band, it almost destroyed them
Yeah.
as uh, people. And for those of you who think I'm jesting, I'm not. I'm not. I've done so much research into that era of
Yeah.
the band's history, and but there was a casualty. Alan Wadler left the band
Hmm.
after that, and the whole makeup of the band changed.
Yep.
Dave overdosed several times,
Hmm.
almost died. Uh, Martin was drinking heavily, and Fletch was still battling clinical depression.
Hmm.
Not where you would hope any band or
Yeah.
any group of people would be uh, in, because they were riding very, very high. And if there was
Yeah.
anything that would bring them crashing down, it would be this. And we wouldn't see another release from them until 4 years after Songs of Faith and Devotion. The brilliant and criminally underrated album Ultra.
Yep. Also, the only album they did not go on tour with,
Yes,
because the devotional tour was so hard, and they now have protections in place as a band to never do a tour like devotional again. As they said, they had far too many um things, bringing extra singers on, and gospel singers, and the whole shebang, and the backdrop, and they just said it
the
was just too much.
backdrop of the devotional tour was out of this world
Yeah.
fantastic. And Anton, of course, designed that. And
Yeah.
like they said, like Alan said, it made no sense to do a elaborate production like that and only keep it up for a few months. Uh, I believe had they added a few more months or really a half a year more to that tour, they wouldn't, one would hope, feel so rushed, so exhausted,
Yeah.
because towards the end, they were really, really, really suffering.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
all of them were in different ways. I mentioned last time that if I could go back, if I was their manager, I would have said, make a video album out of songs of faith and
Mm,
devotion. It would have been legendary for the time. No
yeah.
one thought like that
Yeah.
compared to now. Uh,
Exactly.
so Ultra holds a very special place in both of our hearts
Hmm.
and minds. Uh, it, it's it's probably Martin says Ultra is probably the successor to Violator in terms of sound and composition. He said that in a interview.
I
Uh,
could agree with that. It's so Ultra was designed when I was watching the documentaries as a recovery album, quite literally. I mean, so Dave, as we talked about in our last part, was literally OD'd during this period, as well as having previously OD'd in the devotional period. So he was really in the throes of heroin the majority of the 90s. It was rough. And um, after, barely making this album, the studio had redesigned how it was going to get finished. And once Dave got his voice back, because he had literally lost his voice along with OD, he had lost his voice, went home, then OD'd, and then, finally got recovery. And so coming back, I had read that they decided on an actual studio album and that the intent was just to have an album that the masses could
EP,
listen to. Yeah. And I,
yeah,
I really do think that
to
makes
take
sense.
the pressure off.
Yeah. And I think it makes sense that it's like Violator because Violator was very much that music for the masses had been so wildly successful unexpectedly that on the high of that success, of course, producers go, you got to make a very listenable album. You know what I mean? Like you're not doing your Depeche Mode Black Celebration. We're making hit after hit after hit. And that's really what I'd read and watched in the documentaries I was watching was that by the time of Ultra taking over a year to make, that the studio had taken over, the producers had said, we are making a listenable album. You know what I mean? Like it's just going to be easygoing. It's listenable. We're not going on tour. We're going to make some MTV appearances. We're going to do, MTV over in Europe, in America.
They did
Um,
4 shows to support Ultra. They did
yeah,
2 in the UK and 2 in the States.
exactly. It was
That's all.
just simple live TV shows, just to kind of promote the album. And it's so that really does make sense that this was the sister to Violator. And I think to some extent it's a very listenable album and that makes sense. Is it's not extraordinarily experimental. I think Useless is probably and Barrel of a Gun are the more outliers on as kind of experimental and kind of rough and rocky sounding, and the rest of the album extraordinarily listenable. Um, this album has some of the most fun music videos of
Yes.
their era.
I
Um,
would completely agree with that. Although
yeah,
I will say the next album, Exciter, I really passionately love those videos as
yeah,
well. But yeah, the videos for Ultra are some
yeah.
of the most creative.
They're very powerful, very deep. I mean, I love the videos for music for the masses, because Anton Corbijn has really just started with them and went for this kind of very European, vibe. And
Yeah.
what I liked about Ultra was it was very 90s. It fit in with the 90s, but
Yeah,
kept them sticking out just a little bit as Depeche Mode. And there's a
yeah,
sadness to watching songs like Barrel of a Gun and Home in the videos. Dave looks so childlike.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Having awoken from his addiction, there is this gauntness and this kind of sadness to his eyes, and he
yeah,
just reverted to this little boy look, but in a grown man's body, right?
yeah,
With his hair slicked back. And they captured such raw emotion in Dave on this album. Um, and Martin, having just pulled through alcoholism, I think when he sings home, right, it really brings it home, quite literally,
yeah,
and there's this powerful music video where it's like showing all of the band members, but of course Martin's singing. And it's this interesting thought that they're all in reflection, because I really think that is what it was. Every one of them had come out of something: depression,
yeah,
alcoholism, heroin addiction. They'd lost a bandmate. And I think when you're looking at the other videos, like don't say, it's no good. um and I know we're getting off the topic of love, so we'll get back on track here in a sec. But even It's No Good is such a funny, fun video. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Of a sleazy lounge singer
yeah,
band,
yeah,
just going place to place, crooning,
yeah,
and I think again, this definitely was an album to just kind of repair the image,
yeah,
keep them keep them in the market, but give
yeah,
them a little bit of a break. And this was the MTV era, so
yeah.
making some really solid videos, right?
Oh,
And
yes, yes,
some solid appearances really helped this album. And so yeah, I could totally see the Violator aspect. It's a very listenable. There was lots of songs on the radio that I remember from that era, and I didn't realize it was Depeche Mode until about at the end of '98, when I heard "Enjoy the Silence" and became utterly obsessed. That my brother's like, well, they're the guys on TV singing. He's like, the "Don't Say You Want Me." I was like, that's them. And my
yeah,
brother's like, yeah, it's the same group. And I was like, and normally I'm good with voices, but I think I was so, again, Dave sounds so different on Ultra. He
yeah.
has such a, like, again, he's come down from a whole different world. And
Oh,
so,
yeah,
um, that was my Depeche Mode era. Ultra was really kind of my reintroduction, like my seep. It was like they were there. They were hitting the surface. I was watching them and not quite putting it together that was the same band I loved when I was a kid. And I think that's what makes Ultra so special to me. And I know for you, and I both, we've also geeked out over the lovey-doveyness of this album and the spiritual awakening of this album. So we will get into
yeah.
those
Well,
meanings.
I mean, to follow up on that, appreciating this album a lot more now than when I first heard it in college. It's it goes in so many different directions and through so many different levels and meanings. It's a very deep, deep, soulful, and reconnection album, getting back to the wholeness inside of a person, of you.
Yeah.
Uh, and so, for Love Thieves, which is the second track on the album, is one of my favorites because it's so damn chill.
Really chill.
It also has so many religious connotations
Yeah.
that it's really the perfect crossover song of these mini series that we're doing together. And it really takes a broad psychological and emotional look from afar on what love is spiritually, addiction
Hmm.
wise,
Yeah.
and it makes so much sense that it came after songs of faith and devotion.
Yeah.
And Martin said, we don't usually take 13 months to write and work on a album, but
Yeah.
because of Dave's recovery, they
Yeah.
needed to. And the benefit of that for Martin was he really had all the time in the world
Hmm.
compared to Pat's albums to write. I
Yeah.
mean, what else was he going to do?
Yeah.
And so and this song lyrically is what I would say to every mixed romance that I've had. Uh, and so that's the personal connection.
Mm.
But I also like how deeply entrenched in spirituality and understanding love and
Yeah.
the psychology behind love.
Yeah.
I mean, this song does all of that. It's almost 7 minutes,
Yeah. Yeah. It's a long
but
one.
you can totally understand why it is that long.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And it's pretty. It's chill. It's a very chill song, like you said. And I think you've covered it. It really is that's a great personal connection because I think it really we talked about this last time, talks about systems in place, that really kind of keep love from flowing amongst
Yeah.
all of us. And I think that makes sense. It's Dave's voice only that could sing it. I'm sure Martin wanted to sing that one. I don't know, but it sounds like a Martin song, and yet Dave's voice is on it.
Yeah, I mean, Martin and Dave have always had a very interesting creative
Hmm.
relationship as to who sings what.
Yeah,
And that has always been a topic of fascination that journalists have always asked.
yeah,
Because usually the songwriter who writes the songs is the lead singer.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, and Depeche Mode beautifully bucks that trend.
Oh,
And
completely. Yeah,
I mean, when you hear Martin's background vocals on But Not Tonight, the last track of Black Celebration, he sounds very peaceful
yeah,
as this is what I do. Dave's more of the showman.
Yeah.
I will just keep feeding him
Yeah.
songs. And until playing the angel,
Yeah.
Dave did not write any songs for
Yeah.
Depeche Mode. But so let's go into home and it's no good. Please
Yeah.
take the lead.
So home, we talked about last time is definitely a recovery song. Martin has been pretty explicit about that. But I think that home can represent love and a devotion at the same time. I think that the thank you for bringing me here can certainly be to a higher power.
Yeah,
And um, but I also think it can be towards somebody who maybe saved them, right? Maybe
yeah,
there's a lover or his wife, right?
yeah,
Who at the time, I think, if I recall correctly, had stood by his side. Um, and I think there's so many lyrics that, I thank you for bringing me here, for showing me home, for singing these tears, and finally I found that I belong here. And it's so powerful, but there's definitely lyrics that indicate drugs. We talked
yeah,
about that last time too, is like the sickly sheets, and the sweat and the sticking. And I think there's this, but that can also really mean the sickly sweet sheets can also be love. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And
yep,
the memory of somebody being by your side and
yeah,
sharing those sheets with you. So I think that this is why this song has that crossover and why we've covered it twice. Is
yeah,
it's extraordinarily powerful, extraordinarily deep, and I think really fits whatever shoe you need it to, whether it's you've come through something really rough in your life, whether it's finding somebody you love who got you through a mental phase, that just fell off, like losing yourself and now you feel like you found yourself, or whether it's you found a higher power who's pulling you through those sweaty nights, right? The nights where you sweat, whether it was from getting out of an addiction or whether it's from being with somebody you loved and maybe you lost yourself to, right? Like,
yeah,
I mean, there's all these implications that the
yeah,
person has been lost and has found their way again. And it's a beautiful, one of my favorite Depeche Mode songs and has been since Ultra came out. And it's like I said, it preceded just a little bit of my fandom, but then when I realized it was them, I was like, oh yeah, this has been on MTV, and
yeah,
it's like, and that was on the greatest hits album that I said I'd got as my
yeah,
Christmas gift. So it was ironic because that had only come out like a year prior, but it made
yeah,
their
yeah.
greatest hits. Yeah,
What about It's No Good,
it's
which
no, yeah.
had to be the most create creativity and story driven video that they did for
I
that.
think it's yeah, it's a quintessential Depeche Mode song. I think this classifies in their sound, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, and their style. There's a certain arrogance to Depeche Mode that I've always loved, and um,
Not only a certain arrogance, but a certain sarcasm that
yeah, it's
permeates through
yeah,
most
like
of
they
their
know
work.
they're being the rock star. They're
Yeah,
being funny, like I said. Yeah, it's the swag, right? It's like
yeah,
they know they got the swag. They're gonna tease about having the swag, but they're gonna kind of own having the swag. And I think this song just runs with it. And
yeah,
what's kind of sultry about the song and cheeky is the literally, if for anyone who hasn't heard it, you've got to go listen to it first thing after you're done listening to us, or even pause this. Um, because the lyrics are don't say you want me and don't say you need me. It's understood. And I love the best that's what I mean the best part. The best part comes don't say you're happy out there without me because I know you can't be
yeah,
because it's no good. Um, how tongue in cheek, to just
yeah,
be like, that's no good, no good. Your
yeah,
excuse is no good. I don't care what you try to convince me of. Our love was meant to be
yeah,
or not even love, right? Whatever this
yeah,
addiction is, it sounds addicted. This album definitely is a very intense, raw album.
yeah,
And
yeah. Intense and raw would be the three words I
yeah,
would. Yeah,
and I think this one skips devotion and goes just straight for the love, right?
yeah.
Is we're talking about a, like I said,
Oh, carnal obsession.
I do. I think I do see it as carnal. Yeah, I completely have seen this song as kind of addictive. There's an addiction to this human. You know what I mean? This person
Yeah,
who, for some reason, they're not together, and you can only imagine why. Like this was a heated romance, and that he's like, "Oh, but I like it." You know,
yeah,
like I like this weirdness between us. Like, please come back.
yeah,
And it's hot. It's funny. It's um, there's even sexier lyrics like "I'm gonna take my time because I have all the time in the world." I mean, again, like I said, for anyone who hasn't listened, please do yourself a favor. This is the most hilariously, like you said, sarcastic, arrogant song about a man feeling so highly empowered that this person is going to be his no matter what it takes.
yeah.
And he'll just be waiting in the corner at the bar with a martini in hand, ready to order your favorite drink
Yeah,
just how you like
and
it.
he
You know what I mean?
literally
And
had a martini at some point
yeah,
in the
the whole
film.
like video set. Yeah, he's like swaggering around with the drink at one point, like as he's like got the mic in his hand. It's such a funny video. He's like winking at all his dancers, you know what I mean, and
Yeah,
chewing gum, and it's like it's such a silly video that you can't help but just giggle at the obscenity of the whole song. And it's cool. It's a cool sounding song.
yeah,
So there it is. It's a song about absolute raw love, like real passiony, dirty passion.
yeah, yeah. So, Sister of Night
Beautiful song.
had to be one of the most interesting
Yeah.
songs, and Dave gave a very raw vocal because he was still repairing his voice. Uh,
Yeah.
and they had to, at one point, piece together syllables to get the final track
Yeah.
that we hear. Uh, what do the lyrics mean to you?
I think this is a religious song. Somewhat maybe talking about a female figure in his life as well. Um, but the lyrics, sweet sister, I hear you, just feel me, embrace me, um, and you heal me. Hey, sister, I feel it too. I really think there's this combo. Again, this is a crossover. This is why we're covering this one is I really think you could be talking to a religious figure, right? Like I'm not very good with religious figures, but like Mary, right?
Yeah,
Or a saint, and
yeah,
you're asking for her embrace. You want a female embrace, not the man. You don't want the ominous power. You want
yeah,
the enclosure. I need your arms around me. I need you to heal me. You good?
yeah.
Oh, I thought you said so. Yeah.
No, no,
Um,
I'm just thinking of one of the lines in the middle of the song.
um,
Oh,
well,
but
he says, Sister of Night. Oh, go ahead.
he'll make such a perfect price.
Yeah, yeah.
A prize. Do you think that just that line connotes in the title of the song Sister of Night? Is it speaking about a sex worker or a prostitute or it's
Completely. Yeah,
oh
I think it can, and that would be the crossover. I think the love part is absolutely about a woman he seeks, as a healing figure, but not an emotionally attached
yeah,
figure. So I absolutely would agree with that. That I think that's where the song can go both ways, is we can certainly be talking about, like you said, being the prize of her night, you know what I mean?
yeah,
I've also taken this song, I definitely think it could be about prostitution. I think it can also really just be There's times where I almost see it as like Sister Christian, that song, you know what I mean? Where
Yep,
he's literally
yep,
talking to his sister
yep, yep,
um about he's telling her to slow down. He's
yep.
like, what's your price for flight? He's like, whoa, girl, like my 15-year-old sister needs to take it easy. Some dude's gonna take advantage of you. And
Yeah,
um I think there is that aspect too, that sometimes I've seen it as maybe a female he respects or loves or cares for and worries for, whether it's a literal sister, whether it's a friend, whether it's a family member, a mother, is getting married. You know what I mean? I've sometimes taken that the prize lyric, that's a good lyric to bring up. I have sometimes wondered if the prize is her husband,
yeah.
is the man that she's taking, and
It's
he
its
kind of,
prides of prides.
yeah, see, I don't know. Is it price or prize? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that
Continue talking.
either way that meaning still works, right? Because the
Yeah.
price of taking
Continue
what
talking.
is it?
I'm
Is it price?
gonna step away from the
Okay.
computer. Go get the album. This is why I still buy CDs.
Want me to
Because
Google it?
no,
Want the album. Okay. All right. I'll let you go get the album. So I'll explain that. I think part of the image could also just be that maybe he cared about this woman deeply and wanted a relationship with her, felt a connection with her. And I think that it's possible um that that's what he's discussing, is maybe she chose somebody else, and because there's that interesting thing of I feel it too. And so that I feel it too leads me to believe that it's possible he loved this person and this person isn't reciprocating anymore, never quite got to that point with him, and he feels healed by them. So I think this song is one of those I feel very open to interpretation to. I feel like people can insert themselves however they want.
so we were texting once because we text a lot, and as you very well know, for years and years and years, I've been a lyricist myself.
I know.
And I love reading the lyrics
Yeah.
of, and
Um,
so the
yeah, let's hear it. Am I totally off? Is it about a prostitute? That might make sense. I mean, the song's pretty
trickster
gritty
of
towards the end.
night with the loneliest eyes, tell yourself it's all right. He'll make such a perfect prize. So
Yeah.
it's not prize, uh, which is even better
Yeah, because
reference.
I thought it was prize.
Yeah,
That's why I think I pictured it as maybe a marriage that she wasn't happy with, or like wasn't so sure about, you know?
and so I mean, and the musical breakdown they do in the middle of this song is
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely mind blowing. I
yeah. I
mean,
like the breakdown too.
there's no other way to describe it. The next song, which is not about love, it could be considered love towards the self, but it's more of a Buddhist philosophy, freed state.
Yeah.
It's another chill song,
Hmm.
but a lot of the music on this album is so laid back
Hmm.
and chilled out and seductive. I mean, you
Yeah.
just listen to the music and
Yeah.
it's like no
Yeah.
words, no
Yeah.
words. And so we get to my favorite on the album. And it's probably gonna be the song I get married to or perform at
Aw,
my own wedding. It's called The Bottom Line.
yeah.
And for me, it closes out a saga from multiple albums that started with somebody on such some great reward,
Mm,
continued with a question of lust on black celebration, jumped to In Your Room on songs of faith and devotion, and we find the ending here of a very mature person and lyrics finally getting what he wanted
yeah.
in all of those previous songs, which, let's be real about the time gap. Uh, some great reward came out the year I was born, 1984.
Yeah.
The lyrics to Somebody were probably written in 82 or 83, and
Yeah.
then they were recorded. And Ultra was recorded in the late 90s.
Yeah.
And it's also a song that dives deep
Hmm.
into the religious connotations
Oh,
like
yeah.
the love thieves. And it's the bottom line is probably one of, if not the most overtly romantic and seductive
Yeah.
song without being cheeky, without being overly hot and
Yeah.
heavy. It's it's just Martin singing
Yeah.
to this. Even the music is, again, the music by itself is seductive,
Yeah.
uh, puts hypnotizes you, puts you in a trance. It and then the lyrics just transport you to emotionally another universe
Yeah.
without leaving that one.
Yeah.
It is just a breathtaking song.
Yeah. About how things are meant to be.
Yeah.
People are meant to find each other. It's pretty. It's a beautiful song.
And so now we go in to the bonus tracks, which again should have been on the album.
Yeah.
Uh, Only when I lose myself. What do you
Mm.
have to say about this?
And it's pretty straightforward song. He says when only when I lose myself to someone else that I find myself. And I think I love the breakdown when he says, "Do I need to lose my soul for pleasure like this?" It's like and what does he say? Do I need to give up something else for the touch of your kiss or whatever? It's a very intense song about passion and love, and that kind of he lets himself go, in a relationship, lets him disappear, lets himself disappear. Um, and that's a very fascinating concept that sometimes we do give up parts of ourselves to
Yeah.
be with somebody for that pleasure. You know what I mean? For the level of pleasure that person's providing, only to realize you kind of lost yourself. And then he's saying, but he finds himself. You know what I mean? And so it's like he's lost himself fully, but then feels like he's found himself. And I don't even know if they're really talking about a healthy relationship. I mean, quite frankly, that sounds like a lot of codependency right there. But
Yeah.
I think that's the reality, right? That he's singing about is intent. I know David just come out of an intense relationship, so I don't know if that was part of it. Was while he was his drug phase was with a woman who was a heroin addict, and so I do wonder if maybe some of the song has hints to their own lives of being with somebody who had changed them so utterly and completely, and they thought they had felt like they found themselves, but realized how unhealthy it was. You know what I mean? Just for the pleasure you get from it. So there you go. I could keep going on and on, but I think to me, that's what the song is. I don't think it's a healthy love song. I think it's a reality that many of us have had that kind of relationship before. It's too much.
And it rolls into surrender.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna let you take the lead on Surrender. I tend to just listen and zone out on Surrender. I like the song. I love the way it sounds. That's one of those I just let flow. I don't really have a lot to talk about. I think it's kind of a straightforward one that means what it means is surrendering um your body and soul, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
to a higher power or a love, right? And trust in something that is kind of unknown and
Yeah.
scary. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's a straightforward song.
Yeah.
It's seductive in its own way. I mean, it's really a beautiful way to lyrically end a already fantastic album. And there are some great instrumentals on this album that
Yeah.
you do not get tired of listening to or questioning, why is this just a instrumental? Why didn't
Yeah.
Martin write other lyrics? Uh, it talks about the rapture and flaming of being seduced
Yeah.
by love, by lust, by longing. Uh,
Yeah.
and it's uh, we're living in a world full of illusion. Everything is so unreal. My mind is in a state of confusion, but I can't deny the way I feel.
Yeah. Well, and even his lyric on a man of flesh and bone,
Yeah.
passion running through my vein. It's sexy, but kind of dark. And like you said,
Yeah.
it's
I
very,
mean, this is a very dark album, but
yeah,
I think it very much needed to be dark,
yeah,
moody, broody, and it makes sense in the timeline where it fits
yeah.
into. And so that's nearly a whole episode that we just
Yeah.
talked about
I was about to
one
say, yeah, I
album.
don't think we made it past Ultra in under an hour.
No, no, but we explained a lot of the backstory and the history of the band, which
Yeah.
was incredibly important for that time period.
Yeah.
And to to go in to the album proper, because without all that backstory and history, the album doesn't make any sense to, I
Yeah.
mean, literally, it doesn't. It's a total album out of left field if you don't know the context in which
Yeah.
it was written, recorded, and created in.
Mm.
Uh, like you would, I appreciate the fuck out of songs of faith and devotion because it was made under such strain and such trauma,
Hmm.
which is the exact opposite of how they made Violator.
Yeah.
And so when you know the history of these albums, you are more often than not able to appreciate them and the deep dive they go into.
Yeah.
Then, oh, that's just another Depeche Mode album.
Right.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. If you think that that's okay, but you're totally missing the pure underground genius
Yeah.
that you wouldn't get if you
Right.
didn't study the background.
Yeah.
And so, speaking of the next album, which I've lambasted time and time again just because I hate the title, uh, but the music and the lyrics are, again, the exact opposite of what we heard on Violet, on
Ultra.
Ultra.
Yeah.
Just like songs is the complete opposite of Violator.
Oh, yeah.
Exciter is completely opposite of Ultra.
Yeah.
And so Sweden's connection,
Um, is it Sweetest Connection or Sweetest Perfection?
uh, Sweden's connection.
It is Connection. Sweetest Perfection's on Violator, isn't it? You know what's terrible about me and Exciter? I don't
Do tell, do tell.
I don't remember the titles. I just listened to it. That's not a song. I thought we were doing Shine. Wait, no, that's my fave. Hold up, hold up, hold up. I have the wrong list up. DM Love and Devotion, right?
Yeah.
The Sweetest Condition, not Connection.
Yes,
I was like,
yes.
Connection. Sorry. It was like, what are you talking about? I've never heard of this song.
I just want all of my connections to be
Oh
the
man.
sweetest.
I was beginning to think maybe I don't remember Exciter. I'm like, I'm just gonna cover my butt and say I don't know song titles. Okay. Sweetest Condition. Here we go, folks. I need to go grab my coffee when we do the next part. The Sweetest Condition, I really have the Sweetest Perfection stuck in my head. Can I play this for 2 seconds? I'm gonna know this one in 2 seconds. Oh yeah, okay. Wrapping on the hands of your body. Yeah, that one. Um, it's a sexy song. That's it. It's a sex song. Go listen to it. No, literally. He says like clinging on, what does he say? Clinging onto the hem of your dress. I mean, he's got some friggin' dirty lyrics on it. Exciter's a dirty album. It's a sweet love in between the sheets album.
Yet,
And
yet, uh,
uh the sweetest condition is really about sex. It's about lust and sex and the condition of being in love with a woman, and everything
yeah,
that's behind that skirt. Because I know, and he even says like, what does he say? What good is it to try or whatever? It's like he's basically talking about trying to resist, like it's just it's a yeah, it's a sexy song.
yeah. No, the band seems the most free they've ever
Yeah, yeah,
been, which coming out of Ultra, it's saying quite a lot.
yeah.
Uh, and before we get to when the body speaks, because I I loved the video to Free Love. And I love how I think they should have just titled the album Free Love
I know you do.
because that music video is brilliant, but so is the connotation of the song in general. And it really captures the spirit of the whole album when you think about it.
It does. But we'll
Yeah,
get to when the body speaks because we'll
yeah.
get to free love here in a bit. So when the body speaks, really pretty song about
It's a very chilled song.
yeah, it's like a little lullaby. And he says when the body speaks, the body listens. And oh, I need your company. Oh, I need your touch. And oh, I pray too much. And there's this really kind of softness in that. I think this is a woman he doesn't quite have yet, or emotionally have, or physically. And I think that's where the praying comes in, right? Is he's praying for um, her company and
Yeah.
that they belong together, and when you really listen to the song, that's really what he sings about. I was listening to this one yesterday and did not realize how much it is about kind of a feeling of a soulmate, where somebody who completes you in some way, physically, and
Yeah.
like when they're near. And it's a pretty lullaby.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. To say it's just about sex is really doing it a disservice.
It is because I think they talk about romance and touch as a form of connection
Yes,
more, and
absolutely.
being one versus as a sexual urge, which we later get to on the album.
Yeah. Now, the dead of night is probably
About sexual urges.
well, not only that, but uh, but thank you for skipping to that. No, I was gonna comment on the music, the most fast paced
Mm-hmm.
song on a otherwise sensitive and delicate but overly sexual and sleazy album.
Yeah.
But The Dead of Night is another fist pumping jammer.
It's definitely a banger. I would argue that I Feel Loved is slightly faster in beat, but
Okay,
Dead of Night's a banger. It's
yeah,
like hard banger. We're talking like electric. This is Depeche Mode gritty, like
yeah.
electric,
It,
like
it
slammingness, like with
it's
the
a
synths and
song that fully deserves to be played in a club like setting.
totally. It's loud, it's gritty, it's electro and fun, and really just about boys being boys and out there skimming for the ladies and kind of maybe making women's lives a little bit troublesome or burden or being the fun in their night. They don't
Yeah,
really imply which one. Are they the pests or are they the good, going to give you a fun ride? But either way, that's they're looking to give women a fun ride, and that's really what this song is about. Is just boys out there to be bad boys. It's fun. It's a fun song. I recommend anybody go listen to it. Get over some of the cheesy lyrics because it's kind
yeah,
of worth it for the electric. Like you said, it slams. The song
yeah,
slams.
yeah. And so now we'll add Free Love, but
What
on
your
the
fave that you think should be the album title?
yeah, particularly with the video. I mean, this was a different album for them, and they decided not to use Anton for the first
Yeah,
time in a while. And but I think the video for the opening track, Dream On, even Anton couldn't have done a better, more eye catching video for
yeah,
that song. Free Love, it just encompasses the entire mood of not only the entire album, but the bandmates reconnected with each other and totally re-synergized their commitment to being a group because they had survived all the fracturing of
yeah,
the previous decade. Uh,
yeah,
Hopefully, my uh, producer will be able to mute that. Uh, and so it's not just that I want another title for this album, just the whole context of the song and what it says overall about where the band was throughout the entire making of the album, which is again the polar opposite of what we just spent
yeah,
uh, really the entire episode talking about. It's just mind blowing. It's another
yeah,
mind blowing video that, again, I love Antoine and the videos they do with him, but Dream On, Pre Love, and Good Night Lovers are three videos that were just tailor made for this album and
yeah,
for the band at this time in their
yeah.
career.
It fits the 2000s. Yeah, I'm a huge Anton
Yeah,
loyalist, but yeah, it fits the mood. And Free Love, I know we didn't really talk about the meaning of it yet. It's about no strings attached,
yeah.
just providing sheer raw love in whatever form it is that day and that minute.
It
And
also harkens back to the 60s, that
yeah,
decade, and maybe even some of the late 70s. And
yeah,
so, and you really get that from the music, the lyrics, and certainly the video. And to me, it just again encapsulates the entire album and mood of the band and
Yeah.
seeing Dave's happy, extreme happiness swagger on the truck, dancing on the truck, uh, gyrating or rotating his hips slowly, and I would do it for this episode. I can't do it justice.
I've never
Go
watched the video.
watch the video, folks. Go watch the video. Go do it. You'll thank me later. But I mean, maybe I'm just applying way too much emphasis on this song. But again, the band just seemed so free on
Yeah,
this album that it, it it just lights me up. It's a very sexy
it
song
is. Yeah.
also.
Yeah. I think you covered it.
Okay, good. Sorry for geeking out for
You're
like
good. You got to geek
5.
out over it. I'm glad you like that. I'll have to go watch the music video. That's funny.
I am you,
One of
which
my faves.
had to be a very strange title. I am you to
No, it's
be
intense. I love it. This is one of my favorite ones. It's I am you and you are me. I mean, again, it's intense love. And he says there's no turning back. Um, we're in this track, we're on this track. And it's really about a strong cyclically connected union. You know what I mean? Is
yeah,
again, kind of sexy, kind of mysterious, kind of
yeah,
dark, like borderline unhealthy, but kind of makes
yeah,
you want it. And
yeah.
I like it. It's slow, it's slinky, it's a little bit dark. It has
I
these
love
moody,
that you just mentioned Slinky because
yeah.
absolutely is.
Well, it has that little electric like
Yeah,
sound in the back, and it's like kind of, and then the song's like kind of got a rhythm, and it's these little, and I think that's what makes Depeche Mode so unique. They always know where to put a little ding or
yeah,
a little bicka bicka, with their electro sounds, and it makes the mood.
yeah.
It's like these songs wouldn't be these songs without their electronic genius. And so yeah, that's all I have to say about that song.
And so the closing track, Good Night Lovers,
Another
which,
lullaby.
yeah, and again, I love the video, the concept,
Yeah,
the seductiveness of the whole package. And
yeah,
particularly how Dave ends, and there's a close up of him.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
that's how they close the album. It's a brilliant
yeah,
closer, just like Dream On is a brilliant opener. This
yeah,
album seems they the band went to Ultra
yeah,
and they experimented, but they chilled back.
yeah,
But Exciter, from beginning to end, is a album that really knows itself, put out by a band re-energized. It's the 2000s, it's a new decade, and
yeah,
they could not be more ready for it. And we'll continue this lively discussion in the third part, coming at you in just a few minutes.
Sweet.